Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the special New Year's event for GSC Friday, which, oh my gosh, it's been over a year since we were on the air. So welcome to everyone. I hope that you're out there in Twitter land and get a chance to join us. Of course, if you're listening to us on recording, that's fine too. We will be happy to respond to you for the next couple of weeks and continue the conversation. But I am bringing back one of my very favorite special guest hosts to help me out with this evening, and that's Mr. Devin Hunter. Devin, hey, how's it going?
Very good, thank you, and Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year to you. Now, you've actually been doing a little bit of traveling, and in fact, you're not even in your home right now. You're what is it, about 45 minutes away?
Yep, I'm 45 minutes from home right now.
Did you have to paddle there, or
We've had historic flooding. Yeah. There's a creek not far from where I am, and it actually was threatening to spill up onto the road. So, up in Charlotte, they did have roads washing out. We haven't had the same type of flooding that they had in the Midwest this time, but we did have flooding down in Charleston a few months ago. So we've been inundated this year.
well, I mean, it's been off and on here. I'm up in the Pennsylvania, New York area, and it goes from like 70 degrees to about like -5, I think.
In
Um,
38 minutes. Yeah.
yeah, especially when I'm walking home from the gym too. That's always fun.
Oh, when you're sweaty. Perfect.
Yeah, well, no, because about the first 3 minutes is fine. I'm like, oh, this is great. I love this. And then I take about five more steps, and I'm like hurriedly putting on a jacket and gloves. And
Yeah. You turn
uh,
into a dean sickle.
I like that, a
Yeah.
deansicle. Well, if you're just joining us out there on listening to us either on the YouTube page or via the Google Hangouts page, you can send us questions. The hashtag is GSC Live, just like it always was. So feel free to join the conversation. I've got the Twitter monitor up and I'm looking at it. So if you've got anything to tell us or want to put some comments in or put in your own 2 cents, feel free to be shady. That's kind of why we're here this evening.
Oh, is it?
Yes. And if you're watching on the Google page, the Google Plus page, you can actually type questions directly into the Hangout, and hopefully I will see those, assuming Google's being all nice and joyous with us. But yeah, give us a shout out. Let us know that you're listening, and then let us know that you care. Of course, we're back. This is our special event at the end or beginning. It's the beginning of a new year, I guess we'll call it. But we're going to sum up the end of last year. Now, Devin, I think we have an anniversary coming up, you and me.
Oh my.
I think we're about to be 3 years very
That's
soon now.
yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
It feels like we've gone through everything. I mean, I think we even know each other's shoe sizes if we really thought about it.
Well, we're not going to talk about waist sizes, so if you want to talk about shoes, that's fine.
Oh, no, I like I said on Twitter earlier, I have my subtly shrinking behind,
Yeah.
um, and it's all your fault.
Yeah, well, I claim it. Well, I don't claim you're behind, but I claim it's shrinking.
No, that's all right. I don't think anyone can really stake a claim to it. It's more like a multinational event.
It's intercoastal waters, honey.
Oh Lord.
No laws, no rules.
Oh Lord. Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of night, isn't it?
Probably.
Oh, well, it's fun to be back. I have really missed this show. And it's a nice thing to be around and to have a chance to do this. I just, we don't know what the future is going to bring, but hopefully maybe we'll get to do more of these. I know we have a couple planned. We'll kind of tease some of those coming throughout this show.
Hmm.
But we should just jump right into it. I mean, we promised shade, and it's the two of us, and we will start picking on each other any second now. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
that's the default setting.
Yeah. So, well, let's just go right into it. Is it just me, or have jeans become a new fetish object? Like
You mean pants, the like denim
pants, yeah,
jeans?
the Levi 501, whatever we want to call it.
Hmm.
I mean, there was the whole thing. I know, like 70s, mustache, no hair anywhere, and
Right.
then jeans, and actual Levi's at the time, I believe.
Yeah, well, I was about to mention the gay clones of the 70s, but you already did that. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, but the thing is that on the tubes now, I can't tell which era is which anymore,
Uh-huh.
and that's what really got me thinking about this. But no, I I really feel, and I'm curious about this, but do you think that we've kind of like pushed, hypermasculinity so far now that literally jeans are sort of like a new fetish object, like leather, like it sets studios apart from each other? I mean, I don't know. Am I just overthinking this?
Well, what is this in reference to? Are you saying that the scenes themselves, people are, what are they doing to the genes that
Well,
makes you
it's
think
it
that?
just well, it's first of all, it seems like everybody has jeans, unless you're like the boys in pajamas, visible penis line thing over there on the West Coast.
Uh-huh.
Um, that it seems like, I mean, men.com, Cocky Boys is, I think Cocky Boys is really famous for it. It just seems like there's jeans everywhere, but I've been noticing that jeans have been like they're leaving the jeans on. The jeans are becoming almost part of the scene objects.
I see. So they're part of what makes the scene. They're part of what sets the stage for the scene.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, yeah, this is sort of a curious. It's something I've noticed over this year. Now, maybe it's just that things haven't changed very much this year. I mean, we haven't had a lot of growth, let's say. Um, but even on campsites and stuff, it seems like jeans are the thing. And I don't know. I mean, what do you? I mean, you obviously you worked in the industry a few years ago. Was that like a big deal? Was the wardrobe something that like people thought about before you
No,
started?
no, my experience was they just kind of threw it together actually very last minute, and half the time they didn't really care what you wore. They're like, okay, are you wearing, what color are you wearing? Are those cargo, okay, those are cargo shorts, okay, great. I mean, because the mentality was that they're about to come right off anyway. So my experience was that they didn't really seem to give two thoughts about what you were wearing.
Oh, okay. Well, we've actually got some Twitter commentary on this. James Withers 3.
Ah,
Uh,
James, hey.
hey James. He said, "Did you just say gay clones from the '70s?
I did say that. Oh my
Leave my
God.
teenage years alone." LOL.
No, honey. We're talking about your teenage years.
Now, James, we got to tell you, you got to use the GSC live hashtag so that it shows up on my little secondary monitor here. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking at my phone, and then Devin's going to throw something at me from all the way from down in North Carolina.
Hmm.
So yeah, make sure you guys use the GSC live, and that way everybody can see the shady stuff that you're saying and that we're saying, and then all that stuff.
Well, but there were clones in every decade, and we've got them now too. I mean, it's like the fashion changes, but the clones are
Well,
always
okay, but I
clones.
actually read an article about this, and this was interesting. There were more variations in older times than there are now, and I think mainstreaming of porn might have something to do with that. Like
Well, I was
the
gonna say that
homogeneity has
yeah, that's
actually come together so much so that I'm like, I mean, there's a couple studios that I literally have to look real hard to figure out which model's which anymore.
well, I was about to use the word homogeneity because between the internet and the mass distribution of media, that's how also language is becoming standardized, and a lot of languages are starting to actually evolve, and some die off because, or at least the variations in languages, like different patois and different sub languages, are starting to disappear because language, fashion, appearance, all these values are getting.
So you're positing your theory is that sex and sex talk is actually making us a global community, global culture.
Oh yeah,
So the power of sex is real.
oh yes,
Hmm.
absolutely, because sex
Okay.
sells.
Does it though? Because we did this sex for 2 years and it didn't quite sell much of anything. Although apparently the site, and I don't know, like it's been pirated. The shows have been pirated. And I use that term loosely because I think it's podcasting directories that thought they were being helpful by violating copyright.
Oh.
Um, but well, what it means is actually the show's still out there. In fact, if you check back in the Twitter stream, you can listen to all of the old broadcasts. I did not even know this, but all of the old shows that I was paying to host in various locations actually are now out there, and I don't have to pay for you guys to go listen. So by all
Oh,
means, pirate
well,
away. But
for now, don't pirate later. Just pirate. We have to be selective about that.
I'm sorry, I'm using a tongue in cheek, but you can't see this because this is an audio format.
Oh, my bad.
And I actually forgot what my point was because I got too shady. So
Oop,
that serves me right.
come back, girl, come
Yeah.
back. Um,
Well, out there on Twitter, let us know.
but out to the,
Oh yeah, go
you
ahead.
asked a question about the blue jeans, the denim, and it seems to me, and okay, I'm just gonna say this. I think that a tweet that I made leading up to this conversation was that we were going to discuss all the shades of lipstick you can put on the porn pig. So let's just look at this for a second. If denim is being fetishized, that's, you know, almost like the idea that fashion comes back every 20 years and that denim is now retro and cool again. But they have fetishized so many different, you know, objects of clothing or just objects in general or activities that uh, why not denim? I mean, they've fetishized everything else. Why not something as basic? And I do use the word basic.
She
Why
said
not
it.
something
She
as
said it.
basic as blue jeans? And I think that I have seen the scenes where they only pull the pants halfway down. And my, you know, in my mind, okay, are you, does that serve a function? Are there sores or scars or bruises or something on the legs you're trying to hide, or is it the
Well, see,
idea that
that was my thought, but I have actually seen all of the models in question, and so and it's they're very nice. They're very well put together. But
well then what about this? What if it's the idea that you're just so eager to get dick in the butt that you can't bother to take your pants all the way off?
now see that might be a thing, immediacy, because that's like the big reason that
Well, but hold
camp
on.
shows and everything is taken off.
Sure, but hold on. If I have to ask the question, then you're like, oh, then that means that immediacy is not being translated in the scene.
Well, yes, hair flip, but yeah.
Oops. Um, well, you know, there's all that quote unquote authenticity that people are always claiming that they have, but you know, whatever. I mean, that would be my question. Is it being used as uh, camouflage, or is it being used to convey the sense of urgency? So, I mean, that'd be my
Well,
question.
I was just thinking it was like, yes, we're manly and we wear jeans, which is
Oh.
funny though, because the other trend this year especially seems to have been as wild of underwear as possible. I mean,
Well, there's some crazy colors out there. I
yeah,
mean,
like
extraordinary.
and this is the thing that messes me up, because there are some studios, like I shot with some models, and they actually came to me, and this, I mean, this is hilarious to me, and I'm sure that you can relate to this. But so we're getting ready to shoot the scene. You know, I knew all of them from before, but we had never actually worked together for video production.
Hmm.
And they kind of come up to me like cap in hand, metaphorically speaking, puppy dog eyes. I mean, if you can imagine twinks trying to get what they want, like
Okay, yeah.
all the stops were pulled out.
So manipulation set to 10.
Yes, yes. I
Okay,
mean,
go
just
ahead.
everything. They came in a pair, not one, two.
Oh no, you got squadrons of them coming
Yes.
now.
So they come up to me. I'm
It's like little
fiddling.
children trying to pick your pocket at the train station.
I'm fiddling with the cameras, getting the settings, you know, putting the lights up, and you know, they're supposed to be getting ready. They're professionals. I don't feel like I need to babysit them or anything. You know, like that's fine.
Okay,
You
all
go do
right.
your thing. So they come up to me and they're like, and I mean, this is literally like, I mean, I was like, what, are we gonna ask for more money? You know, what's they're like, can we, do you mind, like, I mean, it's not a lot, but can we put like a little makeup on? And
Oh wow.
I was floored. I was like, wait, you weren't
You
gonna put makeup
you
on?
weren't gonna wear any?
I'm like, did you see the lights that I brought in here? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't use high powered lights. I mean, I don't do the whole floodlight thing like some studios. Man, they got
Oh.
those air traffic controller lights that go on though. Planes are
Well,
landed in the
but
background, but
also when you shoot high definition, you know, it's
exactly, these digital cameras pick up
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that and if there's any oil on your skin or yeah, it just well, it should go without saying that if you're going to be performing, whether it's on stage, it's a different kind of makeup. But if you're going to be on stage or on camera, you should wear makeup.
Yeah, so I mean, I was literally, and it struck me then just how much some of these studios are going to like provide, I don't know, to my mind, the masculine thing, but I mean that means you end up with butt pimples and
Yeah, yeah.
no definition in the faces. And I mean, I'm probably one of the last people that watches porn and actually like wants to see the faces, I guess.
Hmm.
um I mean, we were talking earlier, there's going to be like colonoscopy cams soon. I mean,
Okay, mark that down to come back to, but make you okay.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
back, come back.
Well, okay, too far, too soon. I got you. I
Too
know, I
far, too
got you.
soon.
But yeah, no, it was a revelatory experience. I was like, honey, go for it. I mean, like, yeah, please don't come out with like, you know, the drag contour with like, you know, eyebrows, you know, 3 inches off your eyes. But yeah, please feel free to put some foundation on and, tone it up. And I mean,
Well, I think that what
two,
people, okay, this is the thing. What people who don't have experience don't know about makeup is that the way it's supposed to go on.
are you still with us? Oh, you know what? You just muted yourself.
Am I back?
You're back. So you said that, but they
Okay,
don't know.
sorry. Somebody's trying to call me. Sorry.
Oh.
So what people who don't know about makeup don't realize is that it's supposed to accentuate your appearance, not define it. So if you do makeup really well, it should look like you're not wearing it.
And it's different levels of not wearing it. So if before you go on camera, yeah, it looks like you're wearing it. But when I turn on the lights and do the camera and, then do the color grading in post, no one's going to ever know that you wore makeup. And I think that's and I think that comes down to, and not to be too shady, but I think a lot of people that film porn don't actually know about film.
And, well, not to throw, well, yes, to throw all the shade in the world. Everybody thinks that all you need, and I saw this on Shishi LaRue's Twitter feed. I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. Somebody told Shishi LaRue to her face on Twitter that all you needed to create a porn site was an iPhone, and what did he say? All you need is an iPhone. That might have been, he might have thought that that's all you need.
And a hard-on? I mean,
well, I don't know if you even need that anymore. But
yeah.
But this person made the claim to one of the most experienced porn producers of gay media like ever.
From
telling
the old
her
era too, like right. from the DVD VHS era forward.
Yes, and was explaining to her that all you needed was an iPhone, and her reply was, "Yeah, you go ahead with that." And I was like, "Yes, woman, you better speak your truth, honey." I was like, "Really? People think that all you need is an iPhone?" So there's no conceptualization for production. There's no room anymore for doing it properly. Yeah, there is an art to everything. There's a science to everything, and video production, stage performance, sex work, all of this is not something that you just do with an iPhone. Yes, technology has become more affordable. It's become easier to carry around, so it's more portable. But that does not mean that the skill is gone. And so what we're actually talking about here is the utter disintegration of production values with these DIY kind of people. And when she responds, say, well, you have good luck with that, the person who is having this argument said, well, this model and this model and this model did it. And I didn't say anything, but I was like, who? I was like, this is my point. Who? Oh. You're talking to Shishi LaRue and you're dropping these quote unquote names. I'm like, who? And so I went and clicked on them, and one of the people that he name dropped, I went and clicked on this person. It's somebody with 200 followers. I was like, what point have you just made?
Well, I think that underscores the point of Twitter, which is to annoy other people and to argue.
Well,
I think that's that's pretty much. But if you're on Twitter right now and you want to use the hashtag GSC Live, you can definitely be shady with us or tell us to get on to another subject or whatever you want to say. But your feedback is welcome. I'm watching my screen. I'm watching my phone. I'm waiting for your comments and stuff.
Well, before we forget, let's go back to your colonoscopy cam.
Oh, okay. We're gonna go there.
Yes, we are going to go there because what we mentioned just a little while ago was fetishization, and I think that part of the overarching trajectory of porn is the tendency to go more and more extreme because people get bored or whatever it is they think.
Here it is. I call it my shiny object theory.
Mm-hmm.
I call it my shiny object theory, which is that we're all attracted to shiny objects, and porn. It used to be shiny because it was ooh, and it was behind the curtain, and
was just because it was porn and it was shiny unto itself.
But now sex is fine. I mean, we got bitches on Instagram with their butts out, and I don't mean females. I'm talking about the gay men and I don't even know I didn't even know that was a thing. But apparently, yeah, you can put your ass crack right there on that Instagram. So I mean, we're literally surrounded by nudity, nakedness, almost porn. And so now it's like everyone's in a race for the next shiny object, and they're just throwing baubles out there. And so I'm joking, but I'm sure it'll happen. I'm sure at some point, because I said this maybe 6 months ago that someone was going to put a cam on a dick, and apparently someone did do this.
Oh no, who? No, don't tell me.
I don't know.
Don't tell me. I don't want to
I threw it
know.
out there like this is a what if, and someone's like, oh no, I saw that. Um,
Oh God. I mean,
yeah.
okay. All right, and let me put something out there. Something I'm actually surprised has not become a site. I predicted when gay marriage was legalized, I made the
Oh Lord.
prediction.
Oh Lord.
Yes, I did. I made the prediction that we were going to see mydrunkgaywedding.com, which would be getting, and they would have to be straight guys, obviously, because that's the only thing that matters. You would need to get straight frat boys drunk and married, legally married, and then you would video the consummation of this marriage, and then you have, the next morning they wake up from their hangover, realize what they've done, and then they have to contend with the fact that they have just legally married their bro. And I'm actually quite astonished that I have not seen something wherein
I'm
they
surprised.
entrap straight guys to get
I'm
married.
surprised broke straight boys or college broke people, or I don't know, I'm actually surprised that they haven't gone there. I mean, in some ways that's kind of what those sites do.
But they've done everything else. I mean, there are sites where you essentially rape somebody while they're asleep, because the whole fetish is going into somebody's bedroom and sucking them off while they're sleeping, which is essentially raping them. They do everything else to
They actually
fetishize the
they have a
idea that
category
straight
for that.
guys.
They have a category for that. It's called dubious consent.
Well, that's, excuse me, but
Ah,
that's not cool. But the idea that to whatever degree is necessary, you have to get these straight guys doing gay stuff. And I'm completely convinced that at some point somebody's going to create a site that shows the actual marriage of these drunken boys, who then will have to contend with getting a divorce. But all that mattered was, getting them together. And it's that willingness to go to extreme measures that creates a race to the bottom, to be frank.
well, that's my theory of shiny objects, is that everyone's constantly chasing the shiny objects, and we'll talk about this a little bit closer to the end about the looking forward, but that's basically why we have tube sites and cam sites that are taking over. In fact, cam sites are becoming the new studios, and we'll kind of talk about that. But we got some Twitter commentary. James again. James, thank you for being there with us and being shady with us. He actually has a question for us. He says, "Do you think people in the biz have low expectations for production?" I don't think that used to be true, but this year production budgets have been slashed to ribbons. So I kind of think that maybe the answer might be yes. They might feel like the only way to work anymore is to chase everyone towards the cam sites and the tube sites. Devin, I mean, what do you think?
Well, okay. I think that without income, you can't have much expectation of anything. And so part of what I don't understand is why people are so willing to view pirated material or to go with what's free and available, and to completely disregard the fact that without budgets, without income, there won't be any new material for anyone to steal.
So you're
So
saying that it's not necessarily the expectation of the low production expectations, but it's the fact that people are not willing to pay for stuff, so production companies are not willing to put money out.
well, I think it's a combination of all sorts of stuff. I think number one, consumers have been trained to expect stuff for free, but also since literally everybody is a porn star now, means that there's the objects have to get shinier and shinier, and they end up generating less and less money. So you've got this self-feeding cycle that creates bankruptcy.
Well, and then I think that might be because everyone's chasing the shiny objects down the drain. I think that there's still a lot of room left for production, because the other thing that we have to point out is that people are still buying things on Apple TV. They're still buying things on Netflix. They're still
Yep.
what is it, 1 billion trillion gazillion dollars of Star Wars in one
Sure,
week.
but
I
hold
mean,
up, hold up.
people are
That
paying for things still.
people are paying for things, but number one, those quote unquote legitimate art forms get protected by copyright laws. A lot of times, adult entertainment and adult media, they don't have any recourse. But number
Actually, that's changing
two,
a bit, but yeah, but it's more
well,
people don't want to go to court over it.
that's good. But number two, these productions simply aren't available to be stolen. They're very highly protected. You can, if you really want to, you could steal
Oh,
it.
I'm gonna contradict that. Anything that goes over any kind of electronic source can be stolen quickly and easily, and it is. Every Hollywood movie is piratable with a simple Google search.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then that's a failure of the internet, point blank.
We've got a comment from Kimmy Kyle. She says that there have been attempts at dildo cams, but they didn't do very well.
Ooh, good. I don't want to hear any more about that. If I wanted to see surgery, I'll just go see surgery. I don't know about all that. I don't know. I don't know. Well, and let's just ask the question that's dancing around silently around the edge of this. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? Why? What? Dude, okay, hold on.
Are you gonna kink shame right now?
I'm about to be. Let me tell you something. I know a model, and I will not name him because he told me this story in confidence, but he told me there was one site that he used to shoot for, and every time he would go, the model who was quote unquote in charge was trying to go more and more extreme with each scene. So there was one
shiny objects.
Yes, there was one instance where this quote unquote model in charge was asking my friend to essentially beat him until he passed out. My friend refused. Then he asked if my friend would be willing to choke him until he passed out. He refused. So this was the compromise. The compromise was that my friend would stick a spatula in this model's ass. And it's like,
okay, what?
A spatula?
The compromise between beating and strangling is a spatula?
Yeah, and so that was the next place this
Did he flip eggs with it?
I don't know, but I mean a spatula.
Bottomcooking.com?
Flipmyeggs.com. I don't know, but it's
toss my salad with literal salad toss.
But I mean, so I went and looked this up, and there's this person with a spatula hanging out of his ass, and I'm like, who looks at that? And
does he play spoons on the spatula and like to drum on his prostate? I'm really confused by this.
I'm like, are there really that many?
Okay,
really that many spatula sexuals out there?
But I mean, last night I did see a rolling pin.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't they have pointy handles?
Yeah, and they turn and they have screws. Not even that. I just want to say splinters.
Oh, I didn't even go there.
Splinters.
Oh man, you can just stick a porcupine in there.
I feel really bad for the upcoming ER nurses.
Explaining that. Oh, I was on a
because as cam shows take off, because there you've got a bunch of, and I'm using amateurs here just to mean not shooting in a professional setting.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of amateurs who are they're all chasing each other over, and they're trying to get views off of each other.
Yeah,
and
it's a very self-cannibalizing industry.
James says the spatula, stop lying.
Yes, the spatula should be that should be the bottom, but no, it continues from there.
Good Lord, I feel so vanilla.
Oh, I have no qualms about saying I am.
I filmed
vanilla.
I filmed a facial, and I thought that was like, whoo, because I don't think of those kind of things. Like but I do have a very good friend who literally, he turns red thinking about it, but he just loves the idea of cum in his face.
Sure.
And that's cool. But that's cool. That is cool. That's fine.
Still, that's the body and bodily fluids, and you can go extremes with that too. But at least it's not compromising on a spatula.
Well, I don't get that. That's okay. Unfortunately, was that in 2015 or was that another year?
No, if I remember correctly, that was more like 2013.
Lord. Well, let's take a pause. We've had some serious moments, but we got to have some funny moments of this year.
I think this whole thing's been funny. Spatulas, bitch.
Spatulas. I just like it's just I don't want to make stereotypes, but that just feels like that's like trashy kitchen.
Ooh, so hot.
All right, but we got it. Let's so just speaking of you and me, like thinking back on this year,
2015. Okay.
2015. Let's have some happy moments. And you guys out there on Twitter, let us know what was your, funny, happy, fall on the floor kind of moments for 2015.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to have to think on that. If you have any, go ahead, because I
Well,
had a rough 2015. So you go ahead.
oh, okay. Well, mine actually, I have one that actually happened, I think 2 days ago. We have
Oh,
a we have
okay.
a, we have a mutual friend, Sunshine.
Yes, sunshine.
And we went out to the movies with a few other friends, and I happened to be sitting next to Sunshine,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a comedy. And Sunshine and I are both we don't handle like the tension very well, so oftentimes we will like cover our faces and hunch into our chairs. But about three-quarters of the way through the movie, I started to feel my chair vibrating, strongly vibrating.
This was not the Benoit ball.
No, no. Well, it confused me because I was like, am I
Did I put that
shaking?
in?
Yeah, did I forget to take that out? Um,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm like, what, does someone have like the vibrating undies or something? Like,
Right.
and then I look over at Sunshine, and he is like in a dark theater glowing, because he's so embarrassed because his phone is literally vibrating both of our seats so hard that it's making a sound. And so we're in the theater. We're both easily embarrassed by things that are going on, and I lost it. I started cracking up at this very not tragic but heartfult moment in the movie because he's
I love
literally
you. I love you
vibrating.
too. Ha ha
I mean,
ha ha.
it was like every meme on the internet come to life.
It's like I'm going to make a recovery from my 10th stage disease.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think this was
Oh.
you daughters aren't worthless. We were watching Sisters. So it's you daughters aren't worthless, uh and I'm just cracking up because
Well, you're
it
not
wouldn't it
worthless.
wouldn't like it wouldn't stop. Someone was like calling him over and over again.
Oh God. Airplane mode, honey. Airplane
Or do not disturb.
mode.
Yeah,
Do not disturb,
any of
honey.
those. Yeah. So
Or
that
you could put it on the bye bitch mode. Bye bitch.
oh my lord, that cracked me up. So okay, out there on Twitter, you guys let us know. GSC Live, what was some of your funny moments, your hilarious moments? They didn't even have to happen to you. It could be a story about a friend. Wink, wink.
Ooh,
Um,
okay. Well, I'm not one to gossip. Actually, instead of funny, I did have some really beautiful experiences in 2015.
Beautiful's good.
Beautiful is good, and they're not industry related per se. But I got to
Well,
do
I'll
some
don't worry. I'll make
traveling.
something dirty jokes about him.
Oh, good, because I did go to Scotland. There's all sorts of kilt jokes you can make
Hmm.
about that.
Hmm.
But for my birthday, which is very close to Independence Day, I got to go to Scotland for a week, and I got to go to France for a week. Um, I went to Canada for a week. I got to
I
see
thought I was the only
Quebec.
bougie bitch that said France. Thank you.
France. No, it's France. I went to France. I went to Giverny. So I got to do some really fantastic traveling. Quebec and Montreal were beautiful. Um, so I said I had a dark 2015, but there were some really great times in 2015 too, and especially in the autumn, everything turned around, and my 2015 ended much better.
Well, yeah,
So
you came to see me.
obviously, and we got some very good
Obviously,
work done. Yeah,
we
we got
did.
some good
Yeah.
work done.
Actually, that was another great moment. The two of us, it was Halloween.
Oh
Um,
God.
it was Halloween, and
Uh-huh.
you are a taskmaster. I have to tell you, but it's good. It's good because I get the same way. But I had driven myself over 3 days to the point of quite literal collapse. In fact, we were in the basement. And this is funny in retrospect, but we were in the basement, and I was holding my camera with my little Steadicam, and I literally, and I don't know what it looked like from your perspective, but I literally just sat down.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't hold the camera anymore.
No, I all the way back to my days in high school and college when I was learning to be a choreographer, I had a reputation for being I'm an intense person.
Well,
and
in
I
fact,
had a reputation for making things happen multiple times until it was just right.
I thought shooting your photographs was hard.
Yeah. Well, which is ironic because I have such a very refined, well, I prefer the term refined. Other people would just, call it slave driving. But I'm specific. And as much of a control freak as I am, it that's not the way I created scenes when I was shooting them. So it's a funny realization in this moment to try to explain how I can both be the guy who runs people into the ground and also be the guy who can shoot entire scenes in only 15 to 20 minutes and they be flawless.
Well, it's because you obsess about them to ever and ever and ever. Like
I look at logistics.
I can't even let you like see like in between edits of things that I'm doing for you because you're just like, oh, I hate that. Oh, look at that. Oh, what did I do there? What? Oh my God.
Fix it. Yeah,
what's that? What's she doing? What's she wearing? What's
is that a power cord? Oh, power cords. Hold the phone. All right, I know that not everybody has the same aesthetic I do, and that's fine. But you bitches could hide y'all could at least try.
You're talking about
hide.
You're talking about that scene we watched the other day where they did the reverse angle and like the white card and the second camera. And
not even that one. That's an example. Yeah, they don't even. But okay, look, I saw one. It was one of those. What is it called? POV scenes. And
POV scenes. We haven't even talked about those yet.
Yeah, give me a break. But anyway, POV scenes, they can be great if you aim the lens at what you want people to see. And these people, I don't know if they were lost in the moment, but they were shooting straight down, and what they focused on was all the gum wrappers on the floor and dirty plates and like socks.
Wait, it's just like frat pad?
Power cord. I don't know. I was like, I wouldn't have sex in that room.
Well, I actually we have another mutual friend. He doesn't have a nickname. I can't believe we haven't given him a nickname. Anyway, he shot for a studio that is famous for blowing out the whites.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's because everything is gray and dingy.
Oh, yeah. So fix it in post.
Fix it in post, yeah.
I didn't know you had veneers on your teeth. Oh, did I say your teeth are gray? My bad.
Lord.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I haven't even told my funny story. We just, called you a taskmaster. But yeah, so we
I thought that was the funny story.
Well, that is, I guess, kind of funny. So no, I was talking about we came upstairs and we watched 2 horror movies.
Oh God. Yes, I remember.
And
I'm really fun to watch scary movies with, by the way.
Well, one of them we got through just fine because it was kind of interesting. The other one, it was every 5 minutes. Hold up. I mean, you were analyzing, and this is the problem with suspension of disbelief. Once it's broken, it's shattered. It's on the ground. It fell out. It's gone.
That was yes. I was thinking more along the lines of the fact that any little sound makes me jump and screech. I was
gonna go there, but now that you brought that up,
I screeched.
We also had the trick-or-treaters going on. So there was the horror movie that would get.
Well, remember they were right at a really intense moment, and what was it, Insidious or something? But it was right at one of those scary moments, and the doorbell rang. And it was these little children, and they wanted candy, and I just lost my mind. I was like, oh.
You had to get up and walk around the bed a couple times.
Yeah, it scared me so bad.
Taking a break, getting some chocolate.
I was like, oh. Yeah, but that other one was just bad.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like a mystery.
And had full frontal male nudity randomly.
Yeah, and that still didn't salvage it. It still didn't fix it. It was kind of like the MS2
What's like a nude beach? It's not the people that you want to see.
There's that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember the first time I was on a nude beach actually it was in France. It was in France. And I can tell you that it did not do anything to endear me to nude beaches, but I was like, wow, okay. And this is like way back in 1996, so I was innocent still, and I just was not expecting all that.
I'm sorry, could you say I was innocent again? I need to get that on the record.
I was innocent. Well, as innocent as I could be. Ah.
I'm pretty sure you were born with like a black sheet.
Well.
All you've done is embroider it since you.
Oh my God. I was going to say I was born with a coy raised eyebrow, but you just went too far. It's fine. I tweezed those eyebrows, though.
You tweeze.
I tweezed them into McDonald's arches. It was the 90s. Don't judge me. So.
I need pictures. I need pictures.
No, God, no.
I need 90s Devon pictures.
No, I cast them out.
And then we'll do like a
get behind me, Satan.
Behind the music. Like
oh no.
Behind the eyebrows. We'll do
there were no eyebrows to hide behind.
We'll do like a retrospective. We'll go find people that knew you in the 90s and like, do documentary style.
They've all been paid off. Don't bother.
Paid off, killed off, something.
Well, whatever. What's the difference?
Oh, so yeah, actually, we've had some good times this year. I mean, I think, have you publicly talked about your issues with the depression and stuff?
I haven't. I don't mind doing so.
Well, I was just saying, I mean, I'm bipolar. I've talked to the people on the podcast before, so I get the ups and the downs, and I think you're familiar with that as well.
Oh so yeah, I am.
We had some ups and some downs.
We had some ups and downs, but part of what's been very up is looking forward to the work that you and I have been doing together. I don't know if your listeners know who I am, but I am the CEO of Antaros Media, and you and I have been working on.
Oh my God, you said the T. Keep going.
Well, I prefer Antaros because I was born in Atlanta.
Nobody's gonna find your site if they can't spell it.
Well, everybody finds Atlanta just fine, but all those people at Freaknik, I know who you are, but that's part of what's been keeping me feeling optimistic is the idea that Antaros Media will finally exist somewhere. And I've had some very generous people in my life who have helped that happen. So, they know who they are. One of them is in Mexico. The other one is in the UK. You're here. And so this time around, part of what's giving me optimism is the idea that I do have people who are tangibly supportive. So,
tangible supportability is a good thing.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's not just kind words. There's actual material support happening. So
I'm really sorry to make a pun after such a heartfelt thing, but Sunshine came up with a great idea yesterday, push-up butt underwear. So tangible.
They don't already have that?
Tangible, supportive. I haven't seen them. I mean, Andrew Christian's got the pocket thing that apparently strangles your dick or something. I don't know.
Well, that's hot.
Choke the chicken, make it bigger or something.
Whatever.
But no, I thought that was actually a really great idea. So
Timoteo's better, but whatever.
There are so many underwear companies now.
Okay, and I have another question since we're throwing shade. Okay, yet another porn star has released yet another pair of underwear, and I honestly cannot tell you how they are different from anything else.
Their underwear?
No, people been no.
Oh, okay, because that's still a thing.
Well, that they designed and created and sewed or paid somebody 16 cents an hour to sew or something. I don't know, but it's kind of like the same with porn. It's like, how many people can design a pair of boxer briefs? I don't get it.
Well, this is what the Sunshine was asking me, why I don't design underwear, why I just design clothes that show off underwear, and it was because it's already all been done in my mind. But then he mentioned the push-up button. I'm like, you know what, we could do that. That sounds like a fair deal.
It's the gay boy sports bra.
Exactly.
I get it. I see it.
Actually, that reminds me. Have you ever seen the original Queer as Folk from the BBC?
No.
Oh, that is. There's a classic. The very first episode. One of the guys, the goofy one, takes home this.
Is that Brian?
No, Brian was the American version hot dog guy. This was the short one with the annoying voice.
Ted?
I don't know. Anyway, they were very different in the UK. First of all, they were in Wales, which is a very it's a world unto itself. But anyway,
sure.
So he picks up this big muscle daddy, and he takes him home. And this guy starts to take off his clothes, and he's got push-up biceps, girdle with abs printed on it, chest pec piece, and he takes out the a jock strap cock stuffer,
Oh no.
and
He turns into a regular
turns into a
person.
bear, just
That's awesome. That's
just
awesome. Truth in
and
advertising. Truth
and
in
the well no
advertising.
then the awkward one goes, you want to watch Doctor Who?
You know what? I would love to watch Doctor Who, especially the Tom Baker years. He's my favorite. Would you like a
Uh,
jelly baby?
so I don't know. I mean, I'm actually surprised that there isn't more of that, because that was like early '90s. That joke was being made on a BBC show. So
Right.
um,
Well,
I
oh,
just oh no, I just remembered something that you pointed out to me this year that we have to mention because it's being spoofed in Neighbors 2.
oh, okay, go ahead.
The trimming of the chest hair.
Okay, you know what?
You got to
All
introduce
right,
this
let,
one
let me
though.
just give me just a moment here.
Okay.
As okay. Okay, let me take a breath here because this just aggravates me to no end. When you shave your body hair in when you shave your body hair to make it look like you have abs, I'm sorry. You have done too much. You have done too much. And what's even better is when it's on a porn model who already has like 12-pack ripped abs and he does it. And I almost think he almost started the trend because I didn't see anybody do it until he started doing it. And it's like, dude, you have impeccable abs. What are you doing? And it's like become this gay fashion thing where everybody like leaves the line of belly hair down the center over the linea alba, and then horizontally along the contours of the heads of their rectus abdominis. And it's like,
You said rectus.
I said rectus. It's like, just diet harder. If that's what you want, just diet harder. I mean, it's just so ridiculous.
That was a moment, and I didn't even believe you. And now it's being parodied in comedies, and I think I just saw a screenshot from Neighbors 2 where either
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they drew it on, oh, what's his name, Seth Rogen. I don't know if they drew it on him or not, but there's Zac Efron, who I think that they basically like press into the genetic lab every time and then just trot him. He's like the Winter Soldier. They
Yeah.
they grow him in a lab, trot him out to the movie set, then put him back in a container.
Yeah.
Um,
He's genetically engineered to be attractive.
yeah. And then there's Seth Rogen with, like, I don't know, like Sharpie or something.
Which is kind of awesome when you think about it.
Yeah.
But what was bothering me is when it was people who were already fit doing it, and then it spilled, and which is bad enough, and then
Yeah, I
because
didn't
that
get that.
betrays, well, that betrays, exactly how much uh, insecurity there is amongst models, and some of the most insecure people I've ever known were models. But then it spilled over into other people doing it, and it has to stop. So if you're listening to this right now, do not do that.
Well,
Stop it.
James says, okay, but to be fair, don't we all do the shaving and such because it works? Um,
On stage, now we're going back to stage makeup. But when you're like standing there in your bathroom doing a selfie, and I can pick out your stubble on your belly, it's like, this is no, honey, no. Then you need to use a filter. That's the whole point of stage makeup. It's supposed to disappear.
oh Lord. Well,
Or
yeah,
you could get an ice cube tray and just press it into your stomach.
well, and then of course we do have to talk like in the other direction, and I think this has actually been a very positive change. I'm seeing way more body hair on porn models in general, which is good. Which is good, because the reverse is that you get these studios that like get the guys in and they're like, oh no, you need to shave, but they tell them like 20 minutes before a scene, and
Oh
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
can. I'm sorry. Like I know that you're beautiful, and I know that people are, and people are entire beings. But when the cinematographer is choosing to fill the entire frame with your rosebud, and it is surrounded by volcanoes of redness,
You mean ingrown hairs and cuts?
yeah,
Yeah, that's not better
this is
than the
it's
hair.
just a bad combination. It's like I think I do think we need to get over like the whole hair. Like if you want to shave your hair, you shave your hair. If you don't want to shave your hair, you don't shave your hair. Please do trim and
Well, I
scape.
think I think that
Just if you
part.
want interaction with mouths, it's harder to do that when there's a forest. So
Sure, sure, of course. But I mean,
hedges are fine.
at the same time, if you want people to do good work, and it is work, if you want people to do good work during a scene, it seems to me that they should be allowed to present themselves as they feel most comfortable, because
Well,
then they don't have to worry about, oh, well, this.
that's the shiny bauble. And that's it's I think come on, it's homogeneity plus the shiny bauble. So everyone's trying to be everyone else all at the same time. Um,
I mean, there's some practical considerations. Like the first time I did a scene, I did my own hair, not realizing I shouldn't have done that. And they had to undo my hair because I had put hairspray in. And although it looked fine in person, on video, it was going to make it look like my hair had thinned and that you could see my scalp all the way through, because I sprayed it when it's still a little bit wet, and that creates, the appearance that your hair is actually going thin and falling out. So they had to brush my hair through to break the hairspray apart. Now, the mistake was that I let them do my hair, and I've never been satisfied with any of my scenes because
well,
everybody
that's
doesn't know how to do my hair.
well, I mean that's I think that's the other problem that studios have is it's like Boogie Nights. Like I love that movie for a bunch of reasons, but if I were to sum up where we are in the industry today, it's that it's like Boogie Nights. So you have models becoming producers, becoming stylists, and it's just this nice little family kind of thing where I don't know, family's not the right word. It's this nice little sex pot kind of thing, where it's like we're all going to party, we're all going to get off with each other, and we can all do this. And then the lights come on,
Mm-hmm.
1980, 1985, the lights come on, everyone sees each other and goes, oh,
Wow, okay.
and then they go off onto
Well,
Donahue.
but this brings up a point that we discussed earlier. Everybody's a director. Everybody's a performer. Everybody's a director. Everybody's a producer. Everybody's a stylist. No, you are not. And that, I can tell you right now, is one of the mistakes I made when I was creating my own. Is that I was trying to be a one-man band, and you have your strengths, and other people have their strengths. But for you to presume that you can do all of this, all of it, no, no, you really need help. You need help, and that's part of what production value
Or the
is.
fact that you can take off your clothes on camera doesn't necessarily mean that you can.
Point a camera at somebody else,
Yeah.
and it doesn't mean that you know anything about doing somebody's hair. Lord, honey, I can tell you right now, I can't look at my scenes because my hair is always fucked up. I'm like, who did that? Why did I allow that to happen?
Actually, that reminds me of one of my other models. He actually can't stand anyone touching his hair during a scene.
Hmm.
So he and this other model, I don't know how it started, but they were doing their thing, and the one model like messes his hair, and it looks hot on the camera, so I don't mind. But
Cut,
then
cut.
no, 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 no. Then he started messing with the other guy's hair back, and then just became like an all-out war
I
between the
think
two of them.
that sounds like the best scene ever.
Yeah.
Please tell me there's gonna be like sequels to this.
Oh no, actually, I'm kind
They'll
of.
call it wig snatching too, bitch.
Well, it's just and it just goes to show that.
They could call it Snatch.
Oh Lord,
The
you
whole
just
series could be Snatch.
the shade writes
Snatch.
itself.
The shade writes itself. Snatch. Snatch 2.
I love that
Snatch
movie.
revisited.
I love.
Revisit my Snatch.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Snatch that hair.
I love that movie though, so I don't want to pilfer too
Oh, is
much
there
from Guy
already a
Ritchie.
movie called Snatch?
Oh my God, you haven't seen Snatch
Oh, no,
with
I don't think I've
Brad
seen.
Pitt as a gypsy? Uh,
No, I have not
it,
seen this.
it's a Guy Ritchie film. Oh yeah, you have to see this movie.
Well, I will put that on my list of things to
Yes.
do for 2016.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, speaking of things to do for 2016,
Hmm.
we have a couple more shows coming up, and they're gonna be back to the old format. So we will see. We might do another live show at some point, but we're gonna have definitely a couple episodes. And you've already mentioned it earlier. Anteros Media. It's ANTEROS Media.com. We will actually be launching that site pretty soon, so you can kind of keep your eyes peeled to that. Give us the 30-second commercial though. What is Anteros Media, and what do you look forward to it in this year and forward?
Oh, God. I know I should have memorized this 3 or 4 years ago. Okay, the 30-second version. Anorus Media is the production experience that I never had doing scenes for other companies, and I focused on the experience between models, production, and consumers in an attempt to remove exploitation in all forms out of the process. So on Salon.com, they called it ethical porn. So essentially, we did make ethical porn. We succeeded in making ethical porn.
Now, you and I have talked about that name, and I've actually tweeted out that I think, and I'm using quotes around this, I think the porn industry is dying. I think it's going away. I don't mean to say that there won't be sex on camera, and I that's what I think the cam sites have become. And the scenes, I'm using quotes around those. Those have just all migrated towards the platforms. I mean, even the successful sites right now are actually cam sites that just happen to also produce, and I'm using quotes again, scenes.
Right.
So, but I was playing with the word erotica, and you had different thoughts. Well, I mean, what do you think the future of produced sexually explicit content might look like or be called?
Movies. I think that they have to become movies. I think that will be the only way to distinguish high production values.
Would you include like series and shows? And
yes.
So basically, what's been happening where the indie world has been moving closer and closer, and even Netflix. I mean, we got to pause for a second. Netflix had quite the year. Sense8, which is actually a great show. I highly recommend it, especially if you like the Wachowskis and all that stuff. But they had a transgender woman with a strap-on dildo having sex with her girlfriend on camera, and not like sheets over me, like legs spread. You definitely could see where everything was. And then she takes off the strap-on and it's wet.
Right.
And flings it to the side. And surprisingly, it's a very romantic moment. Like, I don't mean to say that it was like this body moment. But yeah,
well, but this is what I think. I think, number one, that the production value will have to come back, and I think that the narratives have to come back. However, I think what also is important is to make sure that you have performers who can actually deliver lines and do so in a way that allows you to suspend disbelief and fall into a story that happens to also include detailed depictions of sex.
I think we have to move to another word. We've been talking about models and performers. I think we need to, it's going to be actors. So I think everyone can be a performer at some level. Like you said, anybody with an iPhone and a boyfriend, or I don't know.
Don't even need the boyfriend.
Just get a rolling pin, or a spatula. You can be a performer, you can take your clothes off and sex. I actually, I mean, as much as I might criticize the trend towards that in the quote unquote industry, I have no problem. In fact, I think it's beautiful. I think that shared sexuality is wonderful. I encourage everyone to, if they want to jump on a cam, and that's kind of fun. Just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, because you're not going to find love there. And you're going to expose yourself literally, to some things out there. But I do love the idea of shared sexuality. But I think that we're gonna need actors who are talented not only at the physical performance, both of sexuality but also of emotion, but then also the ability to deliver a narrative in some capacity.
Exactly. And I think that part of what we have as a culture need to do to catch up with Canada and Europe is to finally grow up culturally and recognize that just because something is sexual doesn't mean it has no value, or that it's dirty or embarrassing.
I don't think we're going to have a choice.
But if we're going to do this, I think that people have to be able to see a story that includes sexuality and not diminish the value of that story just because sex is present. And if sex is present, it should not be gratuitous. There should be a real reason that propels the narrative forward for that sexuality to be present in whatever form it takes. So they should not be extricable.
And all I was saying is I don't think we're going to have a choice. I think that things like Instagram, Twitter, social media, cam sites, iPhones, all these things, it's something that if you're younger than a certain age level, it's already happening. You literally see expressions of honest sexuality and heightened sexuality every day. it's really only a smaller, although powerful, class of older individuals who still sort of have these distinctions and definitions. And I think, you know what, not safe for work is the one that really gets me. Just I'm gonna rant for a second, but I hate that title because first of all, I think it's shaming, because it basically means somebody else gets to determine what is appropriate or inappropriate. Two, if you're at work, the fuck are you not doing work?
Yeah, well, I was gonna make that point.
I don't remember having a job where I could look at kitties on the internet as much as I would like to.
But
so
why? But this is the thing. Why would cats be safe for work? You should be doing your work.
Exactly. So I think it's an asinine, bogus way of sexual repression. It's basically saying, well, some, I don't know, June Cleaver kind of thing. Somewhere out there, these people are going to decide what is appropriate and inappropriate, and label your NSFW, label it so that you don't surprise. Well, honey,
they shouldn't be surprised anyway.
I open up my Twitter timeline and it goes from architecture to kitties to dicks. And,
well, but hold up. My name on Twitter is Devin Hunter XXX. Did you come to my feed? Did you follow me? Okay, honey. There are no surprises. Now, I happen to be somebody in the industry who doesn't really post a lot of nudity compared to other people. In fact,
your dick is hanging out in your avatar, just saying.
Well, but I mean in my feed. But one of the reasons I do that, the blowjob in the headline, in the header, and my dick hanging out in the main photo there, so you know what you are getting into. But in my feed, not really, not as much.
It's more Janet Jackson than Dick, yeah.
Yes, and I love her. But it's like I kind of overwarn you up front. It's like, here are the X's in my names, here's some dick, but then I really don't give you much dick in my feed. So it's kind of
just like real
false advertising. Yes, there's lots of Janet Jackson in my feed, and if you don't like that, that's your problem.
Well, and I think it speaks to a huge cultural divide, and I think that's going to change over time. And of course, I'm not saying that 5-year-olds should have to have dick shots on their Penguin timeline, whatever they use. I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, but I'm tired of the state acting like the parent, and I think that we kind of need to understand that if once the kids reach a certain level, we may say that it's illegal for them to do what they're doing, but fuck, they're gonna do it.
So yeah. Well, I think that one of the problems is that people they're uncomfortable talking about sex with their kids, so they're going to the internet to learn about it, and what they're learning about it,
dangerous.
And what they're learning about it,
spatulas and rolling pins.
This is not what stage one should be in your sexual education. So on the one, and this is something else that I was trying to keep in mind when I was doing Anteros Media. Anteros.
He hates me.
I can't stand that T. Anaros Media. The idea that what you put out into the universe, you are responsible for. It does affect people. And I wanted to make sure that on some level, without being didactic, that I was demonstrating safe, consensual behavior that, I wouldn't feel ashamed of anybody seeing it. My mother has seen it. My grandmother saw it before she passed away. I'm not ashamed of any of it.
My mom edits my erotic stories, so.
Right. So I mean, this is part of. This should be a litmus test. Would you be embarrassed to explain yourself to anyone who doesn't know what you do? And if you're not, that's a good starting point.
Well, bringing this into a close, James has one more comments. He says there's also not enough booty shots. I think that he's talking about you.
He's talking about me. I'm kind of bootylicious, actually. I'm kind of fly for a white guy.
I was just going to say, I don't have a wide angle lens big enough to.
Oh, that's almost shade. That's
no, for me. That's why I like.
Well, I know, but honey, you're throwing more shade than my booty now.
I have to say, though, the squats are working.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's sitting up. It has not sat up like that forever. So.
All right, bitch. Yeah. We're gonna call you Perky. Hey, Perky.
And it's very weird to me because you usually look at yourself head on, and I have you know this. I don't know how wide my shoulders are. They look 2-3 feet. I don't know. They're my wingspan is 6 feet. I'm just very wide. And so it's, you get sort of a distorted sense of self when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, but because I'm doing all your workout stuff, I have to turn to the side. And when I turn to the side, I go, oh, damn.
Well, hey, girl, hey.
Yeah, like there's a lot less than there was before. And
and what remains,
that booty is it's sitting, it's like the groundhog, like, or the what are the meerkats? Like it's peeking out of that hole.
And soon it'll be standing up and it'll be just perky, looking around. Yeah, the squats will do it.
So, and then I watched this poor guy I think he was on Instagram. He was squatting 3 plates, which I'm sure means something to the gym bunnies. He was squatting 3 plates.
3 plates generally refers to 45-pound plates. So 3 means 3 on each side. So that would be 6, plus the bar weighs 45 pounds. So you do the math. That would be 9, 18, 270 plus 45. That would be 315 pounds if I'm doing the math right.
He's bench pressing me, basically.
Bench pressing? Wow,
oh, no, squatting. Sorry, squatting.
Okay, squat. Okay, yeah.
But he was all uneven and has fallen over, and he used one leg more than the other to stand up, and I was just like, honey.
Yeah, you gotta coordinate through the. You gotta coordinate.
You're gonna have horse on one side, chicken on the other.
Child, sitting on a chicken.
So, well, actually, and let's leave it there. The thing that I'm actually most excited about for this upcoming year is something that we haven't even begun to work on yet, but it's kind of groundbreaking, I think, and that is the other half of you, the not sexy, still shady but not sex half, has been working on some fitness and health and other things. And to call it a fitness program is a misnomer. To call it a health program is a misnomer. I mean, this really is sort of a dynamic, life-altering experience that I've actually been going through for about 2 months.
It's a wellness lifestyle paradigm.
There you go. Paradigm. But what's really important is that if you all had listened to the show before, you know that I suffer from chronic pain. I have now been 2 months with almost no significant flare-ups.
And almost no pills, right? You haven't had to take any pain pills.
Yeah, I mean, it's the times of getting high and sending annoying texts to Devin and others has definitely gone down. So it's been kind of life-changing. And in fact, we were talking about that night with the Halloween and stuff. I mean, you remember me coming up the stairs.
That was the workout.
It was unbearable, and it was a workout. And actually I have not had pain going up down the stairs for probably about 6 weeks.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah, so I'm very, very happy about that. So there is a lot of stuff coming up, but we want to thank you for tuning in tonight. You guys can keep the GSC Live hashtag going. We'll be checking that for a little while. If you're watching this on record, oh my God. If you're watching this on YouTube afterward, feel free to keep using the hashtag, tweet at the account. It's at GaySexCast, at Devin Hunter XXX, and at Dean Sage Media. We are very chatty and very shady all the time, so feel free to throw that in there. Get ready for.
But our booties are perky, so we have free license.
Well, yes, my booty's a little perky. Yours is like, honey, God, it's Atlas. It's holding up the earth.
It's Atlas.
It's just
Atlas shrugged, honey.
Atlas shrugged.
No. Well, you know what? We can reappropriate that.
Well, I was gonna say Atlas shrugged and you flexed, and then everything was fine.
Thank you, honey. Atlas shrugged, I flexed.
Booty, boom, booty. But we want to thank you for joining us in tonight. And like I said, I missed this. The only reason that I stopped was that I was having to try to make money, which
there's that.
Yeah, which led me to having to spend time on other things. But apparently podcasts are the new thing. Okay, so good. Yeah, if I don't know, if we figure something out, we'll try to come back. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending your New Year's Day being shady with us, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. And we will be back very soon with a couple new episodes as a introduction to 2016 and get you guys a little bit more acquainted with Antiros Media and some of the things that are going on there and what Devin and I have been up to for the last 6 months. But for tonight, we'll say ta-ta. Everybody have a good weekend, and thanks for joining us.